Silva is an artist. He's an entrepreneur. He was born on the island of Sri Lanka, but lived most of his life in Africa, especially in Nigeria. And he's an artist, a creative at his core, one who speaks through his works, and one who engages his audience through various mediums. And he is, I believe, someone who has spent quite some time building a community of the creative industry in Nigeria. So most of my work in recent times have been surrounding the concept of sustainability. It's pretty common a subject among most creatives right now. But I've been passionate about this for years and have done quite a few things around this concept. And it's because of a personal conviction and understanding that every decision we make has to have a balance. The balance in our decision making about the cultural or social side of every decision, the environmental side, as well as the economic sides for our lives. So if we fail to find a balance, it becomes difficult to achieve long-term development or success. So that is why I work, done quite a few things around the concept of sustainability. But I think this year, last year into this year and next year will be a culmination of most of those things I worked on. And in exhibitions, as well as in some writing that would show my own perspectives and my perceptions. And hopefully, we all can be part of a much larger process. Definitely it evolved over the years. Growing up, because most of what I saw as art around me was figurative art, representational art. You see something, you look at a landscape, you put it up on your canvas, you see, so you get somebody's image, you create a portrait. So those were pretty straightforward things. But the more I explored, the more I realized my interest in abstraction and experimentation. So I continue to evolve, trying to be me or more of myself, rather than just do what I saw, around me. So if you see what I do right now, and if you see my evolution, what you see is a lot more abstract renditions. For me, abstraction is like metaphors. It's like poetry, where you hide something for people to look at and get them to also search together with you, and sometimes come up with different meanings, because by the time you look at an abstract work, it's not exactly what I think I see that the people that look at it see. So I think abstraction opens up a whole new vista of experience and engagement with your audience. More and more, I think I'm also looking closer about the existence, the human existence, our life on earth, of purpose, of meaning, why we are on this earth, and what do we find ourselves doing, what is our role, why do we do what we do, what contribution do I make or do we make to our collective. So yes, sustainability, but I'm going a bit more philosophical, if I may say that way, and looking at human existence and the meaning of life and the impact of our lives while on earth. Let me put it this way. I think the process is as important as the end result. So I don't work because I want to bring out a work. I am part of that process. The process itself is immensely satisfying and important to me. I'm an abstract artist, and earlier in life I used to work like many of us do. We think of a particular concept and we make our work, we tune our work to fit that particular theme or concept. But I've also learned something practicing over the years, that sometimes we can get carried away trying to twist our work to fit a theme or concept. So that's why I said the process is important. And it means that the concept may just be an idea, it may just be a thought, but I start a process experimenting, exploring my artistry. So when I get into a work, it's not the theme just pushing me. What is pushing me is becoming me or more of myself. I'm dancing my dance on the canvas. I'm singing my song on the canvas. I'm doing what I love to do on my canvas. Yes, somewhere at the back of my mind I have a theme, but I'm more interested in me being able to express myself. And in doing that, what happens is that you bring out your very uniqueness. You're able to now take your style, your own rendition, and carefully present a theme at the end when you're actually completing it, without losing my personal identity in the work. That personal identity is what sets us apart. There are many challenges we face as artists. I said we first, because I think quite a few challenges are common to all of us. Finding that balance, understanding your creative side, understanding the need for you to be connected to the world and the society around you, as well as your responsibilities out there. So it's a delicate balance, yes. But peculiar challenges for me would have been balancing, my artistry with my work, my business, at certain points in time, till I was able to find ways to allocate time and resources and be more strategic in the way I did what I did, so that my art would not suffer and my work and my business would continue to blossom. And ultimately, my business and my work would pay my bills so that I can comfortably be an artist that I wanted to be. So let me also add that some of us got into business because we didn't want our art to suffer. We wanted to make sure that we had other sources of income and support so that we could actually dedicate the time and the resources for our art. I think I've had quite a bit of support from my wife, my family, my friends. I've been a chronic artist. I've always been myself. So I think by and large, people understood who I am. And I was fortunate enough to also behave myself and not be so lost in the clouds, so to say, that people couldn't understand me. So yeah, I'm just grateful. What role does culture and social context play? It plays a very, very, very large role. I'm someone, some people call me a people's person. I agree, but at the same time I can be quite a private person in myself. But I think I see myself always as a part of a larger whole, of a collective. I don't see myself and my life in isolation. I see it more of me being part of a larger collective where I have a contribution to make, and they have a contribution to make into my life. So for me, it's a very integral part of my work, and I constantly seek to improve that my engagement and my relationship with my society. And I think, let me draw a particular example in the fact that I was born on this island of Sri Lanka. I was raised for 10 years in Sri Lanka. I love the island of Sri Lanka, but I came here as a 10-year-old, and I've been here for 43 years. And I have become a Nigerian as well. I have adapted Nigeria as my home. I've married here, I've got married here, I've had my children here. I have appreciated and integrated myself into the culture as much as I still have my connection to Sri Lanka and think Sri Lankan. I mean, if you come to my house, you eat both types of food. If you open my wardrobe, you see both types of clothes. So I have evolved, so to say, to be a person of mixed identity. And I think a lot of people in this age and time with the Japa syndrome, like they call it when people travel, or even people that travel before, there's a whole lot of traveling back and forth and people settling in different places. I think it's a very important concept to examine even as artists. But coming back to what we were discussing, it's important that we understand the seriousness of our social contracts. We cannot just live in isolation and think about ourselves alone. What we do affects others, or what others do affect us. Are there specific materials? Yes. And techniques? Yes. At present, I work with acrylics, but I work with both a drip technique and an impasto technique using a palette knife. So it's a combination of these two techniques that I use in my present body of work. Doesn't mean that I would not experiment with other things in future, but I'm just saying that this is what my present body of work comprises of. Mostly acrylic, sometimes oil on canvas, but drip techniques as well, controlled drip techniques, let me put it that way. Drip has always been something artists practice, but controlled drips as well as impasto techniques gives me that kick, you know, that amazing feeling to be able to manipulate the material and write my song on canvas, or so to say, to be able to, you know, express what I feel at this moment in time. Yeah. How do I engage the community through my art? Okay, let me put it this way. My art opens the window, opens a door for conversation. It's a portal of engagement. I mean, I'm always thrilled to see the very, very different reactions. When you're an abstract artist, people look at it and they're like, wow, this is interesting. So what is this? You know, and then I ask them, what do you see here? I open a window with my work. And with that conversation, art goes beyond the canvas, beyond our medium, and art becomes something that is out there between ourselves, between one another. That is why art is best when it is shared. Art is at its best when you understand that it doesn't just belong to you, the artist. It now becomes something that everybody has a stake in, so to say. I have few exhibitions lined up for this year, and I have one coming up at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in a few weeks' time. Then my solo at the Turkish Embassy, hopefully, yes. And then we should have one more in Abuja. And I'm hoping that all things going well, There'll be an exhibition in London at the end of the year. And 2025, I believe, will be another phase where I would actually be more on the international circuit. Once again, speaking through my art, engaging people, engaging communities, discussing issues that are important to all of us. Someone who was raised in the global south, both in Asia and Africa, may see the world differently from somebody who was raised in the global north. And it's only by having our conversations that we can actually appreciate what each of us brings to the table. Apart from my exhibitions, residencies, haven't confirmed which ones I'm going for, but yes, they're coming up too. And then I think there'll be one major project this year. That's a collective project, the Women Creative Summit in partnership. My company, Treasures for Life, AGH, will partner with Terra Culture, the very renowned institution, the cultural institution in Lagos, and as well as the very renowned media company, Business Day Media Foundation, with a number of very, very wonderful partners, institutions, where we hope to bring together female creatives, those that have achieved very great heights, as well as those that are upcoming, and bring to fore the challenges as well as the solutions. And we are very fortunate to have our dear Minister of the Arts, Culture and Creative Economy giving us support as regards this, because she's the first minister of that ministry, and she happens to be a lady, and she's been, such a big support in many ways, and particularly as regards the Women Creative Summit. So I think it's something we should look up to as well, as a collective, as a community, as a society. I believe a whole lot of good things will come out of it. Thank you.